cold, it's raining outside. What's better than a little coffee and some cosmic fog? Man, I gotta tell you, this milk and honey is delicious. But that's not what we're talking about today. What we're gonna talk about is the HCIGAR's Nemesis. And I've had this mech mod for quite a while now, and this is one of those that I suggest to anybody. Price on them, it's amazing. What do you say we get into the up and close section of this HCIGAR's Nemesis? And I could use a little vape. Nothing goes better than vaping coffee. Hey guys, welcome back. So here's the box my HCIGAR's Nemesis came in. I did spring for the stainless and gold version. Nice little box, nothing too crazy, no magnetic flip top, but who really gets this for the box? Definitely get it for what's inside the box. So let's open this up. And what we have inside is obviously the mod. We got a little bit of foam around here to keep the mod from getting dinged up in shipping. It did come in a bubble wrapped envelope, and I received this via USPS. Purchased this from an eBay user. Did spring for the magnetic spring, which is awesome. Did get this in the gold and stainless trim. I'll have to apologize. It is a little scratched up from me using it because I have had it for 2.5 months now. And I have used it quite a bit. And this thing, it is fantastic. So let's get into it. Nothing too crazy about it. You have your standard stainless tubes here. The way that this works is your fire button is also used for adjusting your battery rattle. Obviously I do not have a battery in this at the moment. So let's break this completely apart. I'll show you all the individual pieces, and I will even disassemble the top and the fire button. Stay tuned, guys. Alright guys, welcome back. So here we have the Nemesis by HCIGAR's, all blown apart. Everything down to center cap with adjustable 510, and all the center tubes, locking ring. We have the firing button all blown apart here. Let me just explain some of the stuff that we have going on here, and then I'll be assembling it as we go. You do have, and one of the nice little features about this, you do have this for your top cap, and this is actually a little bit more than just a beauty ring. It does have 2 pinholes in it. I don't know if you guys can see that. See those 2 pinholes? Let's try to keep it in the center of the camera here. Those 2 pinholes are actually an airflow, so if you like to use any of the pro tanks, a bunch of the other tanks out there that use airflow that goes through the center post. Here, we'll use this. We'll use the HCIGAR 30. On the bottom of this HCIGAR 30, you have a hole, and that hole is to pass air through, and then they have little slits on either side of this bottom piece here to allow some of the air to pass through. There's also some holes in the upper portion of those 510 threads, and that's also for airflow. But the great thing about the HCIGAR Nemesis is because they have this beauty ring on top with the 2 holes when you assemble it onto your top cap, and it's just a little O-ring. Keeps everything all nice on there. You place your airflow control ring on, and then there's 2 small dimples on the stainless steel portion of this, and if you line those up, that opens up the airflow on this air control ring on the mod itself. So not only do you gain the air through the sides of the top cap from just the atomizer itself, now you also have airflow control here. So it helps if you have juices that you'd like a little bit more airflow. The more airflow, the better in most cases. So at least that's in my opinion. So that's just one really nice feature about this. Also, you have an adjustable center pin, and that just threads right into the bottom of your top cap, and depending on which atomizer you're using, and today I will demonstrate this on the, what do I want to demonstrate this on? I'll demonstrate it on the Dark Horse. You will thread this on, and you'll notice there's a gap. Just back the screw down just a little bit, get it flush, just snug that up, and there you have it. So you don't have to worry about any gap. This mod is a 22mm diameter tube. Any of your 22mm diameter tanks or dripping atomizers or auto dripping tanks or any of those 22mm devices will fit beautifully on here. So we'll set that off to the side. Nothing too crazy about this. Just a nice stainless steel, fairly thin, but it's strong. I did put a couple of scratches in it in the time that I've had it. The threads on this thing have been great. So we'll put the bottom and the top tube back together. It also does come with another ring. So this ring would be used if you wanted to put this is a kick. A kick is something that you can put in your mechanical mods. It fits in most mechanical mods that are 18650 tube style. All you'd have to do is just slide the kick in. It's easier to do it from the bottom. Let's just do that. So you want this portion to be facing top, which is towards your atomizer, and this would be the positive for your battery. You just slip that inside, kind of a little bit of an angle. It does have a spring-loaded ground pin, which is right there, and you just slip it inside the spare ring. So there you have it. So now it'll turn your mechanical mod into a variable wattage device. I love using these with the Kanger tanks, like the Pro Tank 2, the Aero Tank, even the iClear 30 here. I like using it with that. Kind of gives you a little bit of a range on what you can vape on your mechanical mods. We'll just set this off to the side for now. So here's the basic tube for your 18650 configuration. You can also break this down even smaller. So let me grab an 18500. We'll slip that inside. We'll assemble this in a couple of different ways. I'll put on, this is your locking ring. This is reverse threaded, so we'll just thread that on. One thing worth noting, there is a pinhole here, pinhole here, pinhole here. So in total there are 4 pinholes in this tube. Now that is meant to be for in case of battery catastrophic failure. So in case your battery does vent for any reason, which it shouldn't, because we all vape safely. One thing that I do think is kind of odd though is when your battery is unlocked, which is threaded all the way up, it covers up those holes. So really your safety while using the device isn't really there anymore. So that's just something I've noted. So now we have those sections together. I will put the other section for 18650 mode back together. So there you have that. Now let's focus our attention on the firing button and magnetics. So usually where you would have a spring, there is a magnetic ring. We'll put this all back together and I'll kind of demonstrate on how it actually does assemble. Obviously with magnetic springs, you want the opposing poles. So here is a close-up of the magnetic ring. Looks just like a washer. Trust me, it's a magnet. So you want the opposing poles. Slip that in and then just use your finger to kind of hold it together. Then you have your threaded section with insulator. That goes on next. Now one more thing that is worth noting here, and I will zoom in to show you this. This right here, this little pin that you do not want to lose, this is to keep your firing button from spinning. You definitely do want to use it. Do not lose this, because it's not going to stop your device from working, but it sure will make it a pain in the butt to use. So there's just a little slot cut in. You just want to line that up. You want to slip the pin in there so it keeps everything nicely lined up. Next, you want to put the threaded thumb screw on here. This threaded thumb screw is also for taking up some battery rattle, and you can also play around with it a little bit and make a shorter throw for your magnetic switch. If you do not have the magnetic version of this, the spring will work almost identically the same way, if not identically. So we've got this all assembled. So there you have your firing button. There we go. Now we will put this on the bottom, just like so. I will demonstrate this in 18500 mode. So here I have an eFest 1000 milliamp an hour 18500. They claim 15 amps. I'm assuming 15 amps is burst, not continuous. So we'll slip that inside. And looks like we might have to use the kick ring. Yes, yes. So there you have it. The kick ring is also to use 18500. And then we will thread on the top cap. So if you guys like your smaller, very sneaky mods, need to make an adjustment. So 18500, all you have to do to make a battery adjustment is unthread the button, pinch down the insulator and threaded section, and just give it a little bit of a turn out. Place it back on the bottom. There is a little bit of tinkering involved with this, but once you get it, and it works just fine. Press the fire button. There we have it. So that is an 18500 mode 1000 milliamp battery, and we'll give it a little vape here. and works great just like usual. So now when you are using this on a tank or a Kanger or any type of center airflow atomizer, this can be adjusted right here. You can either line it up for one of the holes, both of the holes, can go a little bit in between. I find that the O-ring does have enough resistance on it that it doesn't want to spin on its own, but I have bumped it and it has changed it a little bit. It's just one of those nice things. I'm glad they included the airflow control. So, one more toot. Very nice. All right, so now let's demonstrate 18350. Here we go. I got another IMR EFES 700 milliamp an hour 18350. We'll take off the kick ring or 18500 ring. Drop the little 18350 inside. Yeah, look at that. Thread it all back together. Adjust the fire button again. So here you have it in 18350 mode. It's really cute. It works actually very nice. I'll put it next to the Tesla I just reviewed. So here you have 18350 mode, and it is as tall as the Tesla without an atomizer and 18650. So people who are very interested in keeping these tiny little discrete mods, here you have it. Let's give it a try. Yep, and it vapes it. So vapey, go away. So there you have it in 18350 mode. Let's break it apart one more time, taking the top cap and atomizer off, disregarding the 18350 battery. Now grabbing the 18650, and this is a Sony VTC5. So battery in the tube, we'll use the slightly longer tube, thread that on, there we have it. Take the top cap atomizer, 510 airflow control section, thread that on, make a little adjustment to the button, and here you have it, 18650. Oh yeah. So there it is, guys, all assembled and ready to go. And I don't know what more to say about it. This has been one of my daily vapes. I take to work, I drop it in the jacket pocket with a bottle of fluid, throw the dripping atomizer on, and away you go out the door. I suppose I'll demonstrate this in 18650 mode with the kick. So we'll take the dripping atomizer off. Goodbye, Dark Horse. I will see you later. We'll take the shorter tube section. So we will slip the kick in it. Positive for battery. Positive for atomizer. We will thread that on. Now we will take a... Let's see, what do I have kicking around here for the kick? Kicking around for the kick. Kick. Well, there's a little bit of fluid left in this iClear 30. So we'll take the iClear 30, we'll thread this right onto the top cap, like so. We will adjust the center pin just snug, not too tight. We will thread that onto the tube, like so. Make an adjustment for this on the fire button, and there it is. Now, I haven't used this tank in a while, and there has been some fluid sitting in this thing for quite a while too, so I don't know what I'm getting into. And it vapes. There are no dry hits, so there was some fluid left in there. Have no idea what it was. Let's make a quick adjustment here. So another thing too is when you do have a kick in here, all you have to do to make adjustments to your kick cap off, I use adjustment tools for monitor repair and electronic repair. And the potentiometer here, all you have to do is just turn it clockwise to turn it up. So we'll bring that up a little bit. It's more of a guessing game. It's kind of you adjust it, you vape it. Is that good? Do you like it there? Good. If you don't, crank it up, turn it down. Got a little more power here now. Not bad, not bad. It's kind of taking a step back in time. I'm so used to using dripping atomizers now that going back to an iClear 30, kind of interesting. So it does work well. Let me zoom out a little bit, man. This thing got much longer with the kick and everything on here. So this is what you would have. So to use your locking ring, all you have to do is just thread it counterclockwise to lock it, clockwise to unlock it. And it vapes. So we'll go back to FaceTime and I will give you my impressions of the HCIGAR's Nemesis. So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for sticking around, guys. So here we have the HCIGAR Nemesis, and for a versatile vape device, a versatile being that you can use this in multiple configurations from 18350, 18500, 18650, and all of those modes with a kick is pretty phenomenal. Also having the magnetic firing button, adjustable center pin post. I mean, what more can you ask for? They do come in a couple of different trims. They come in all stainless. I have seen them in brass. I've seen them now in powder coated in multiple colors, white being one of the favorites. And I'm actually using this right now with my Aspire Nautilus Mini and the kick module, and it works quite well. It works actually very well with the kick. It's been great. It blows me away. Every time I pick up this Nemesis, I'll toss it in the jacket pocket and I'll head to work. Even if I've got the tank on it and I'm not using a dripping atomizer, it is great. It works great. It's very versatile. So thanks for viewing, guys. I really hope you liked this review. This was the review of the Nemesis by HCIGARs.